Does that sound okay? I don't think I can hear you.
We can hear you fine. And we were muted.
Does that sound okay?
Yep.
Can you hear me now?
It's a little bit.
It really is to rent it for a long-term project.
That plank.
I have 7.
We're doing quality
Yep,
heavy
we're
right now.
We shall begin. Good evening and welcome to the August 8th, 2024 meeting of the Historic Preservation Commission. My name is Edmund Cherneski and I am chair of the commission this year. Other commission members in attendance are, to my left here, Nate King, Rebecca Krupke, Anne Marie Quinn, and Matthew Whitecamp, and our consultant, Mike Pullen. Present via Zoom is Vice Chair Liam Reardon, and also in the room we have Annie Collette from the planning office, and Brian, thank you for coming. If all regular members are in attendance, associate members participate in the meeting but do not vote on motions. If any regular members are absent, associate members will vote such that there are a total of 5 votes for any group motion. Even in the event, and Anya, I will refer to you, Liam is able to vote via Zoom, then we will be all set for that. All right, the Historic Preservation Commission has 2 roles. First, we serve as the Bangor Center Revitalization Area Design Review Committee, designated under Section 71 of City Ordinances, which covers review issues in the downtown and waterfront areas of Bangor. Secondly, the Commission has several responsibilities under the Historic Preservation section of the City Ordinances, which include issuing certificates of appropriateness for construction of or changes to buildings within the city's designated historic districts. Depending on its location, we may need to review a proposal under design review criteria, the historic preservation criteria, or both, which is the case tonight. 5 commission members may vote. Design review application must receive 3 affirmative votes to pass or to be approved. And historic preservation, or the issuance of certificates of appropriateness, must get 4 affirmative votes to be approved. The order of the meeting will be as follows. I will call the applicant, and also they may present his application from the podium. You have to be on camera with me as well. We will also, after your presentation, have the consultant give his report, and you'll have opportunities to take questions from commission members and any members of the audience that may be virtual or in person if they show up. Once that is done, we'll take action on the proposal.
Thank you. My name is Mick DeLonghi. I've been a Bangor resident since 2004, and the building in question at 3032 Main Street was my first commercial purchase 20 years ago next month. There's been a few applications through for facade grants and various other bits and pieces, and at one point there were quite grand plans for how to redo the front of the building. What's before you right now is a much simpler version of that. There is actually no physical changes to the building at all. So the Italianate structure, those columns will all remain. All that will be changed is the building. There needs to be a lot of scraping done because that paint, if you're walking past it, some things are rusting, some things are flaking. So it'd be good to get that taken care of because it's a very pretty building. And also putting, so it'll be painted a different color, and then new signage will be put up. Right now there's one hanging sign, which is about 5 foot square, and there will be one vinyl sign across the middle that would be about 12 foot square, which I pulled the permit for and that passed. Melissa would be here, but she's actually out of the country, so she asked me to pinch it. So that's pretty much the project in a nutshell.
If you'd like, Mike, just for the record, would you like to go through your questions, and we will also review the applicant's responses to those.
Yes, or we could ask the applicant to explain what their responses were.
Is Melissa the owner of Happy Ending? Who's
Yes.
Melissa? Okay,
Yes.
Melissa's the owner.
She's been a tenant since 2016.
Okay, first of all, Brian, were you able to forward that early photograph around to the commission members?
Yes.
So, Mr. Galargi, I'm not sure if you saw that, but this was a wonderful early photograph,
Yes.
which I'm sure you've seen before.
It's a little taller now, but yes.
And it was known originally as the Boston Button Store. People that are my age remember this was the Boston Store, just called the Boston Store. And they sold good clothing. It was a good clothing store, really popular. But this photograph shows this building as a 3-story building which it is currently a 4-story building, and as Deborah Thompson said in her write-up, she thinks it looks like the work of Wilfred Manser, who we all know, the great architect, designed the additional floor on the top in more of the Italianate style. The interesting thing to notice is that this photograph shows a roof that was pitched to the sidewalk, and a lot of the downtown buildings went through the effort of actually correcting that by adding another story on the buildings. So you can sometimes look, if you're really careful, you can see a seam rather, not on this building so much, sometimes you can see a change in tone of brick or something, and an upper floor was added.
In the building next door, when I bought that one, because it was a complete wreck, you could actually see the old roof line. We took the plaster walls off.
That's cool.
And it was my understanding that that changed at the turn of the century, because those beautiful mansard roofs, there'd be like 2 tons of ice that would fall off.
Exactly.
Apparently someone got killed.
Oh, wow.
So they required all the
Yeah.
buildings to have flat tops on them.
Well, yeah, I think it was probably by ordinance or something. They said, this isn't safe anymore, so they made the change. So I'll go through the points that I had, and you've done a good job, or somebody did a good job of responding to those.
I believe that's Melissa, yes.
Okay. So, first point was, as we look at the 3-bay storefront, it features 4 columns supporting the cast iron cornice above. Now, the thing that I wanted to mention, just so you hear some architectural terms and you know I'm doing my job, this entablature, what the columns support is classical, this is classical architecture, the bottom portion. The columns are supporting what's called an entablature, which is made up of 3 parts. The lower band is called the cornice, the upper band is the cornice, the lower one is the architrave, and in between is a flat band. That's called the frieze panel. So there's 3 parts that make up that entablature. Now you've learned something. Yes. You'll be dangerous on the next application. So the point was, the original application showed different colors for the columns, but now I understand those are going to be the same and cleaned off, and then the entablature will also be painted out in the same color.
Correct.
Wonderful, that's good.
Now, unfortunately, we can't, because when I bought the building, the front columns were actually stone, although they've been repaired on many occasions.
Yep.
But then a dump truck lost its brakes and crushed one of the columns.
Oh, you're right. I remember
Thankfully, it
that.
didn't damage the building structurally, but it basically shattered
Right.
that column.
Those were the 2 middle ones, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting, because there was a change made to this storefront probably in the 1920s or so, because some of the details of the glass that goes in, and this is your second application. Remember, there was one in 17, I think, that took out that middle display
Yes.
unit. That's gone. So, but the point is, I think that marble wrap was put on around steel columns behind them. So now you basically blocked it out in its wood, and that'll be all painted out in the same color as the other.
Yeah, it was repaired by house revivers.
Oh, good,
They did the work and basically matched it architecturally
Yeah.
for exactly what was there.
good.
But the other column is still stone, I believe.
Yeah.
But it's over the years, have been cracks, and it's been cemented.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, there's nothing beautiful that you could strip and say,
Right.
wow, look at that.
Right. Right, and there was a stone base too. It's called the bulkhead below the storefronts is a panel that's probably 30 inches high. That also looked like it was stone.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. So the question was, and maybe you can help us to clarify, whether or not that is going to remain or get cleaned off to expose the stone, which was a dark colored marble that looked like, or is it just going to be painted?
It's going to be painted because, again, it suffered over the hundreds of years, it suffered damage, so and it's being repaired.
Okay, the other point that was that the application talks about a 10-inch gooseneck LED, and I think you've changed that lighting.
Yeah, the lighting, the plan is right now, you can't approve the lighting today because I don't have the specific fixtures. We couldn't get that over the goalpost in time. The plan, that is, although it's beautiful, that building is sort of a magnet for homeless people because that little sort of portico area. Yeah, the number of times we found people sleeping in there and things like that. So that area definitely needs to be lit, and there is a light.
There is one now.
There is one right now that you can actually see it through the
Yeah.
picture. The plan would be to use LED wash lighting along the top, so that it doesn't blare into the apartments above, it doesn't blast anyone out in the street, but we just highlight the sign and add some more ambient light to that area.
Is that the?
Yeah, you can see it in the picture, there's sort of those slight glows.
Okay. That's LED strip lighting.
Yeah, and it'd be nice to know if this committee finds that an acceptable thing to do, and then obviously we'll spec the actual lights and then come back next month with an application just for the electrical piece.
So I understand you, you're saying that for the LED lighting, you're going to be submitting something next month for that?
Correct.
Okay,
Because I couldn't get specifics on the actual fixtures.
okay. Is the graphics that are on that middle panel, is that backlit or?
No,
No, so that's just applied vinyl?
it's just applied vinyl, yeah.
Okay. So the biggest issue that I had, if you guys look at the refreshed application that the owner sent in, was that the middle two columns were being covered up by that horizontal band of signage. And so now the new one expresses the columns, you can see those all clearly, so that's been resolved.
Correct.
Looks like in this. I think that's all I had. Unless you can think of anything else that you want.
No, but just to reiterate, the building will physically look identical because there are no structural changes being made. We're recycling the existing window framing, replacing broken glass. And in fact, one of those panes is actually Perspex right now.
Yes, and that was the other point, was are you keeping the bronze, the
Yes.
very narrow modern bronze, which is a nice detail that came with the 1920s or 1930s
Yeah.
renovation, so good, that's good news. Yeah, I don't know. That's all, I think that's all I had.
Any questions from commission members? Liam, I'll start with you since you're to my right.
I guess I'm curious, Mike, you asked what we thought of your plan for the LED lighting, and I'm not exactly sure, is that on the external facade coming down, or is that inside the sort of?
Yeah, on the building at the top, there's a lip that basically comes out.
The top of the panel.
My understanding was that the LED lighting is to be applied to the sign.
Well, ideally there would be three,
Yeah.
Yes,
because from,
signs.
yeah,
No, just one sign, but
there's
like.
one sign, but there'll be
three
three
lights.
lights.
Okay,
Because the LED wash lights, you can get them in various lengths,
Okay.
and they're about that thick,
yep,
and they're no, weatherized, UL listed, black aluminum box that would just attach to the building, so that you wouldn't have something that's sticking out hugely or anything like that. And it just provides downlight.
was that the question you were trying to get to?
So on the updated application that shows us the design of the sign with the column still visible, which, we of course see as an improvement, that sort of light glow we see, that represents the 3 LED lights to come.
Those are the wash lights, yes.
And then I guess my second question related to that is that you're also calling for some kind of lighting inside that covered, I don't know what to call it, entryway that's still.
There is an existing period correct light fixture that hangs down in there,
And you're going to retain that.
yes.
I guess it's not really visible in the second plan I see with the new sign.
No, because where that black band is across the top, it's behind there.
I see. All right. Thanks.
Yeah.
Matthew?
I guess I had a question for you. So I have a picture here. And you're gonna fill this with black vinyl. Is that applied to the glass or is that like inside of a frame?
It's just applied to the glass.
Okay, so it's gonna be applied to the glass right here. Is
Yep.
this glass with a shade down in this picture or is that like a wood infill?
That, I think what you're seeing is actually, some of it's painted already.
Painted glass or is
Yeah,
it?
some of the
Okay.
glass is already painted.
Okay. And you're gonna retain those windows?
Yes.
And just cover them, okay.
Yes.
The other thing the thing that the commission oftentimes needs to consider is, can these changes be removed without a detrimental effect on the building? So I think everything that's being suggested sounds like if that's applied to the glass, you could remove
You
it
could
at a
remove it,
future
yes.
date.
Correct.
The changes that are made here might not be appropriate for someone in 5 years, that maybe, I'm not suggesting you're gonna sell the building, but if you do, let me know.
Mine's a little bit more personal. So out of curiosity, do you have a name of the paint that you're using for the black?
No, it's just a black semi-gloss.
Okay.
Certainly, the two buildings next to it have it.
Yeah.
Portland Pie has a slightly flatter version of it.
No, my building has it too. I'm just curious because it fades super fast on me. So I'm like, I wonder what everyone else is using.
Yeah,
Just curious.
that's a good question, yeah.
Yeah.
Anne Marie? Any
Yes.
questions for me?
No, thank you.
Nate, anything from you? Okay. Bless you. Not really, I mean, talk as much as you need. Okay. Is there anyone electronically from the public present?
Auditorium public.
I think they're watching the Olympics.
Possible, well timed. Okay. If there are no further questions for the applicant, then we can either continue discussion or choose to take action on it. Just as a reminder, this is design review and certificate of appropriateness, so there will be two separate motions and two separate votes, by all means.
I'm sorry, I had one more question. I went over and took some photographs one day, and I did notice that out in the sidewalk, you built a kind of, or the owners built a platform, or the owner of the bar. And there was kind of a big, heavy wooden attachment made back onto the building face, and a little strut that comes off of that, I think to feed electrical to the lighting or something.
I believe so, because I think Melissa pays, the city of Bangor permits those outdoor seating areas. You know, it started with COVID, it was such a huge success
Yeah.
that thankfully Bangor has continued it. And the city puts those concrete blocks to protect
Right,
patrons on the deck.
but this
That's just
now-
a temporary.
Okay, it's just a
thing. Yeah,
temporary.
that's not.
Because that's gonna really interfere with the look of this improvement you're making. It's a big,
No, I'm pretty
Ledger
sure that's they're gonna
coming off.
disappear, yeah.
good news. Okay, I'm sorry. Just wanted to clarify.
Mike, you never need to apologize.
No, yeah.
Okay. Anya, I do have a question.
Yep.
Assuming if the motions pass, is the lighting appropriate for a minor revision, so he doesn't have to come back again with specific specs for his LED lights?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
It just means you wouldn't have to appear before the full commission again. If we are content with your design review and content with the certificate of appropriateness, you can just do a minor revision with the specification of the lights.
Okay, fantastic. So it would just be submitted to the city to,
You would still work with the planning office,
Okay.
and they'll let me know.
Yep.
right?
But again, this is assuming the design review is acceptable. If there's no discussion, I would happily entertain a motion on this property, which if anybody needs to know is at 32 Main Street, map lot 042-135, West Market Square Historic District.
So I'll make a motion that we approve a certificate of appropriateness for the property at 32 Main Street.
I second it.
Okay. I mean, you want an alternate member, I don't know mine.
I think it's
30 Main Street.
Oh, yeah, 30.
32 Main is what's on the agenda.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah, the building's 3032.
Okay, I'm like, okay, the agenda says 32, that's all. It says 32.
32 is technically,
Technically,
that's happy
happy
endings
endings,
address,
right.
and then 30 Main Street leads the residential
Apartment.
piece. Yeah.
Okay.
there you go.
So I have a motion, I guess we will go for a roll call vote on issuing certificate of appropriateness for 32 Main Street, map lot 042-135 for the presented proposal. Liam,
I vote yes.
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 and I will also vote yes. Certificate of appropriateness is issued.
Make another motion to approve design review for the property at 3032 Main Street.
I'll second it.
Seconded, all right, Liam, you made the motion, so we will start with you again.
I vote yes.
And to my left,
I vote yes as well.
Yes.
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 I will also vote yes. Design review passes as well.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I love your building.
Yeah. That's-
remaining on the agenda, and you don't have to stay, but you're welcome to.
I'm late for dinner already, so.
Remaining on the agenda is
Good luck with it.
our approval of the minutes from the June 13th meeting and also the July 11th meeting. Anybody have any issues with the minutes as presented to us? Okay. Would anyone like to move to approve them?
Yes, I move to approve both the June and July meeting minutes.
Second.
Okay. Matthew?
Yes?
Anne Marie?
Yes.
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 Liam?
I vote yes. I think technically I should abstain from the June.
Yeah.
You were not here in June, that is correct.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't here in July.
I vote yes.
It's minor detail.
Okay, well, thank you all for coming today.
Turbo
It was
chair.
nice to see all of you. Have a great day.
Mush.
Thanks, everybody. Hope to see you in person next month.
Thank you, Liam.